Doing?
I'm good, Ekow.
How has the year been for you, 2025?
I mean, for me, it's been a revolutionary agenda. Gamro, as you know, I mean, has not come into the news without controversy. It's always mostly about international best practices. So what is being done in BMI, ASCAP, SAMRO, GIMA, and what have you. And that is what the organization needs to position itself to do. And so I'm very much happy to inform you that, in fact, in our December royalty distribution, we'll be using statements-generated distribution. So if your works were used in any of the channels that Gamro has been monitoring and been receiving royalties from, I mean, payment of royalties, and like I can mention, Omni Media, top-notch, I mean, has been regularly been paying their royalties. I mean, there are also about 95% of Ghanaian radio stations that are not paying royalties. Beyond that, there are other channels that Gamro also collects digital royalties from, and like you mentioned, Spotify is one of the channels Gamro collects royalties from. That is publishing, what you call the publishing royalties. Yes.
So you guys are involved there?
Exactly.
All right, cool. But we'll go deeper into that. But it's good to have you here because it's good to also know about our music rights as musicians and as creatives at large. Now, as Gamro, what is your mandate as an organization?
All right. Gamro established in 2011 as Ghana's private collective management rights organization.
So it's a private institution?
Exactly. In charge of musical works and sound recordings. And let me expand this conversation very well. The music you hear in your ears is recorded music. So there is a sharp difference between music and recorded music.
Okay.
Yes. So music is a separate work, and then recorded music is a separate work.
So there are two different things.
Two different things.
Okay,
they don't
explain the difference for me.
Yes. So music is the underlying compositions with or without words. So you listen to jazz music a lot.
Yeah.
These are music without words.
Without words, okay.
Yes, and it's music. And I know you play keyboard.
I don't play keyboard, but I love it.
All right, I can give you a musical scores and you can perform that music for me without words.
Still music.
Still music. And then if you decide to call upon an investor to take Kafui to the studios to do a recording, that is a separate work. It's a recording of the music. Yes. And so, one, there is a music, and two, there is a recording.
Recorded music.
Unfortunately, in our part of the world, we mixed the two up. So music is 100% copyright share. Recorded music is also in values, 100%. They don't mix. Any attempt to mix both, you're not doing anything meaningful.
All right. So if I'm a producer and I produce just the beats, I've produced music.
Yeah.
But if I give it to an artist to put words or lyrics on it, then it becomes recorded music. That's your definition you're giving us today?
No.
Okay.
So if you're a producer, did you make the beat?
Yes, I made the beat.
So if you made the beat,
yes,
you are composing music.
I'm composing music.
Yes.
Okay.
It has got nothing to do with sound.
Okay.
So once you compose the music, you own a copyright. Now, the decision is between you and whoever is going to place the lyrics on how to share that copyright. So if Ekow, you compose a beat, or I mean, you did the beat and everything, and then Kafui walks in and say that, put these lyrics on me, or on it for me. Now, is Kafui going to perform the music? Then now you're going to move from the composition with the lyrics to a studio. If Kafui is so good with performing, he sings so well, then he performs his own compositions. Now, the rights is splitting. Now, if you were working with the music alone, then Ekow, you and Kafui are supposed to do what we call a split sheet. So you did a beat, right?
Yes, I did a beat.
Kafui put the lyrics on it.
Yeah.
So the two of you are going to decide who is going to own what percentage in the copyrights. That is the copyright of the music.
Okay.
When we go to record, that is called related rights. That is not copyright.
That's called related right.
Or neighboring rights.
Neighboring right. Now explain that for us.
So the neighboring right is residing in the recording that you go to the studio to make. So what is copyright? Basic 101 copyright means that if it can be copied, it can be righted. I mean, so going to the studio to record, to put, I mean, the sound on it. So you're gonna do drums, you're gonna do keyboards and all these things. Once you're done with all these, that becomes the related rights of the musical works that was performed. So in most jurisdictions, you hear sound recording, master rights. I don't know if you heard that word before.
Yeah, I've heard master rights.
So whoever financed,
I had master copies.
Yes, whoever financed the recording, so he or she gets performers, drummers, keyboardists, in fact, including the person who's gonna sing that music, will own the master rights.
Okay, so let's take it one at a time.
Yeah.
So let's start with like this whole master rights thing, right? So I'm an investor, I have money.
Yeah.
I get 12 instrumentalists to play. I get, let's say 12 instrumentalists, 5 singers, 1 lead singer. So that's what, let's say 17, 19 people,
yeah.
right? Good. Now, when they are done and they produce or they make the music, and we go to the studio, we record everything. Because I invested, I have the master right.
Yeah.
Good. Now, when do they come in as the split? What will be the works they've done that gives them rights to also benefit from what they've done?
All right. Now, we still not going to confuse viewers. Music is one thing, recorded music is one
another.
thing.
Good.
And then the master right in the recorded music
Is another.
So if you group 19 people to perform a recorded music for you, you either gonna give them rights in the master rights individually. So the guy that played the drums, the guy that sang, I mean, each person.
Everybody's going
Everybody. Where there is a contract. So under Section 7 of Ghana's Copyright Act 205, Act 690, where there is no contract, so that work becomes a commission work.
Oh.
So you pay each and every person.
So somebody can perform and I'll pay him outright and that's it.
Exactly.
The person doesn't own any rights to the...
No.
Whoa.
So that person will be owning performing rights in the recorded music. And so where there is a public performance of the work, then that person will earn a performance right, provided he sign on to a CMO or a neighboring right society.
Oh, so until there is a contract, so you cannot say, okay, hey, that's my voice. Maybe I recorded this and then my voice has appeared. I'm like, hey, that's my voice. And then I go and I'm like, I need to earn money from it because I've seen it become big.
No, because where there is no contract specifying these things, it revolves under the economic rights of the artist. Indeed, for the moral rights under Section 6, you cannot deny it. So wherever the music will be played, your name will be mentioned as a performer. But then under the economic rights, once there was no contract, the law under Section 7 recognizes as the person who invested his money. It may be that you were paid off. And there is a sharp difference between a studio fee and then being paid to perform.
Tell me the difference.
So you go to a studio, you book a session, they tell you that the rate is, let's say, 100 cedis per hour. And then you go in with an artist. Let's say Kafui, you go in with Kafui. Kafui goes there. And then you pay for the session fee. The studio engineer does everything for you, to do the sound for you. And then Kafui sings. And you pay Kafui, let's say 100,000 Ghana cedis, 10,000 Ghana cedis, 5,000 Ghana cedis. Once you pay Kafui for that, it's a commission work. Unless Kafui tells you that this amount of money you are paying me, I still want to own rights in a song or in the recorded music. So let's do a split sheet.
Okay. So now, if I've paid him the commission and he says he wants to own rights, do I now take the commission from him?
That is the arrangement with you and him.
Okay.
So one, you can go in the fact that, yes, I'm going to pay you 5,000, but then at every point when the recorded version is earning sound recording royalties, you earn X amount of money.
All right. Now, currently, how do you track the performance of music? Let's start with Ghana. How do you track it?
So there are various channels or various usages of music. I'll begin with, let's say, live music. So under Section 36 of the Copyright Regulation, LI 1962/2010, as amended, a person who intends to use the work of an author or cause the work of an author to be performed in public is required under the law to apply for a license What this all means is that, Ekow, if you want to do any show, so I hear situation, the management of ChannelOne, CTE-FM are supposed to apply for a license because musical works are going to be performed. When you apply for such a license, government will give you what you call a Q sheet. It will give you either soft or hard copy, depending on how you want it. And you are required to give us a usage report under Section 37 of the same LI. So when that usage report comes, you will see that it has the interested party in works that are going to be performed. So I know you bear Kofi Kinata. So Kofi Kinata, the work and the seconds it was performed, total seconds, yes. And then the title of the work and then the author. Once we receive this Q sheet, we have what we call the net distributable revenue, NDR, based on the amount of money you were charged. So the amount of money you are charged is also a percentage of the tickets that is going to happen at the show. So if you're charging, let's say 100 cedis, so mostly it's between 8 to 10% of that ticket. And after this is done and we get a locks, the NDR, then we get all the total seconds of music that was performed. So Kofi Kinata, all the artists that you have built. When we get that, we are going to get what we call the revenue unit factor. When we get a revenue unit factor, all the interested parties in their work, whose works were performed for particular seconds or what have you, we just multiply it by the revenue unit factor, and then you get your royalties.
Wow. So I'm an artist, right? I go to, let's say, a concert, or a concert is happening. I go and play. Everything happens. Now, when I am done with everything, you are the ones that will say, okay, this work was done and you deserve to receive this. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so based on the payment that comes. So where there is no payment, Gamro cannot distribute. So where you publish that you're going to have a concert or a show, Gamro will write to you stating the obligation under the law and all the things you need to do, including adding the Q sheet for you to complete. When we do all these processes and the revenue doesn't come, we cannot distribute.
Wow. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us in studio is my good brother. It's been a while since I saw him, but it's good to see him one more time before the year ends. I must put that out there. Before the year ends, it's good that I've seen him before the year ends. How are you doing, Seven?
I'm good, Ekow. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How's the year been?
It's been good. I haven't been to Kenya still, so it's not too good, but I have to go to Kenya. And then
Where do you want to go?
Whenever you're going.
All right. We'll go very soon.
Thank you.
Anyway, but I mean, when you look at music, the year and the review when it comes to our musical landscape, what will be your assessment of it? How would you assess it?
It's been good. It's been very good. The only thing is we might not benefit much because Ghana might not benefit much.
When you say Ghana might not benefit much, how do you mean?
Well, because the major labels, you know, came in and basically signed a lot of our artists. So if you look at the top artists by streaming numbers, etc., they're all backed by big labels or major companies. And of course, some of these contracts that they sign, we are talking about maybe 85-15%, like huge contracts that the labels will benefit more. But of course, they get exposure and they can do whatever they want with that. But I think it's been amazing, though.
It's been very
amazing.
Good. I don't know if you use Spotify.
Yeah, I see.
Have you checked your rap?
I've checked it.
Or how does a rap look like?
The rap. Really
Number one on your list.
Oh, it's Blacko. You can't deny that one. You know, you can't deny that one.
Do you use Spotify as well?
I do Apple Music a lot.
You do Apple Music a lot, so you've not checked your Spotify.
Blacko is also there.
Yeah, sure, he's there. Yeah, sure.
Like the Apple Music rap.
Yeah.
Too. Number one is Blacko.
Yeah.
All right.
He's everywhere.
Wow. Now, with Blacko as number one, as Gamro, what does it mean for you?
I mean, I'll build up on Seven's statement. You know, most of our A-list artists are on record labels and what have you, so they come in. I mean, the majors. So they come in, and these majors, you know what's happening in the world. They are not only recorded entities; they also have publishing under them and what have you. So once they sign on to an artist sign on to them, all the revenues. I mean, so I know Empire, that's publishing, they do recorded music. So all the revenues, especially so far as the digital space is concerned. So they do all the revenues, and then depending on the contract. So I don't know the contract with Black Sherif and Empire, so I can't speak to that. But then depending on the contract, like Xavier said, of course there will be exposure. But then generally, depending on the contract, will determine how much the artist will be earning in real time.
All right. So now, if the artist is earning, does it benefit our industry?
The artists will earn, definitely. Small percentage, though. But like you were saying, they sign your masters and your publishing.
Yeah.
So what that means is they have no problem, like Blackwell and Co. really have no business with Gumroad.
Yeah.
They really have no business with
Yeah.
Gumroad.
Yeah.
The majors own their publishing.
Publishing, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does it then mean that is it possible that with all this success we are seeing, like they have huge streaming numbers in Ghana, everywhere and all of that, it will get to a point where, I want to use my words carefully, but Gumroad becomes redundant. Let's say all our artists are signed by major labels.
Well, the thing is, so I think the labels probably don't see Gumroad as a good source of revenue, so they are not bothering them. But in any markets that they definitely know they're getting a lot of publishing money from, they'll bother them. So maybe, to me, it might be a good sign where they'll come knocking at Jackson's door, like, hey, where's our money? Which they can, because they own the publishing, the artists.
They are already, I must admit.
You know, so yeah, so they can't come to them and, hey, where's our money? So that's when Gumroad and Jackson have to sit up and start doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been bashing them for a long time. And now I'm not alone. The majors are coming to, you know, they'll come because basically you owe them. You owe them.
All right. Now, can you tell me your collection points? Let's say Gumroad. Where are your collection points when it comes to Gumroad and Ghana music?
Yeah, so I'll start with the essentials. So the broadcasting networks. So like I was trying to clearly distinguish between the music and the sound recording.
Yeah.
So where you play any of this music, I mean, all music in Gumroad's repertoire, or I mean, where we have reciprocals with other CMOs and what have you, like Xavier was mentioning, they'll come in. You're supposed to pay royalties. You see, the problem as we see it now, and as it is now, is that channels are refusing to pay royalties. And it is not today's problem. Generally, from the days of GBC, so GBC used to log and bring statements in the days of COSGA. And then post-1992, we saw proliferation of media houses in Ghana. Currently, I could count about 550 radio stations. Yes, and after several engagement with all these radio stations, I've been around for the past 10 years. I've been heading the Ashanti Regional Office. After several engagement, and I mean top-notch media houses, deliberately refuse to pay royalties. And if you are a CMO in Ghana, you are always tempted to go to court. So, Gumroad versus GBC. This case started in 2017. Jonathan and Abraham did their bit. The real problem is that Ghanaians don't have a culture for paying for the use of music.
No, but then again, the key question they're asking is this. I've not seen anything that Gumroad has done. Why do I have to pay? I hope you understand Ghanaians.
No, so you see, Gumroad does not have to do anything for you to pay for the use of a right holder's music. So you set up a radio station. Let's say you want to leave CT or Channel One.
I don't want to leave, but
all right.
don't put it in the air yet.
All right. Let's say you want to set up your own independent radio station.
No, I don't want to set up a radio.
Let's say
somebody wants
all right.
to
Let's say
set up.
let's say 7, right? 7 want to set up.
You want to set up a radio station?
Yeah, maybe. You want to set up a radio station.
Yeah.
So the first thing he will do is that he will begin his regulation processes with NCA, and he's supposed to also check the Copyright Act and regulation. Like I mentioned to you, under Section 36 of the regulation LI 1962, as amended, he's supposed to send an application to Gumroad that I intend to use music on a radio station.
So is it all kinds of music or music from Ghana?
Every music, because when you are operating a CMO, you are representing the rights of the work you hold. So I'll give you a typical example. If you play a music from South Africa, and then it's recorded, and Gamro gets the locks, where there is a reciprocal with Semro, which there is one, the money will be sent to Semro to be paid to that artist.
Okay, so you will collect on behalf of Samro?
Samro, yes.
And then you send it to Samro?
Because we all sit on one table, CSAC,
All right.
225 CMOs.
Okay, cool, fine. Now, let's say I've been able to do my research. I found a place where you don't have any reciprocal with them. I can still use their music and I won't pay you anything. Is that the case?
That is not the case.
Okay.
Because when you use the music in the Ghanaian territory, so like I mentioned to you, now in Ghana, Gamro is a CMO responsible for musical works and sound recording. So when you use that music is supposed to be seated in Gamro's black box.
Wow, it's
So
deeper
there is,
than
yes, there is a
thought.
black box in Gamro now. So if there is on March royalty, like I told you, in the next few weeks, we're going to launch the Digital Revolution bit. And we're doing this with WIPO Connect, CSAC, Capasso, MLC, Gamro Management.
Trying to
Information
lock
System.
all the corners.
Yes, and so once there is a performance, the money will be seated in the black box. And then at any point in time, you submit your works for matching, your money will pay back to you.
All right. Now, 7, before somebody receives royalties, must they be registered with the organization?
I mean, let's go according to Gamro's rules. Yes.
You have to be
You have
registered.
to register with them. But I think there's a little bend. He can explain. It seems as if Gamro collects for all musicians, regardless
Whether you register or not.
whether they register or not. You know, so that's maybe one thing that we can ask
Wow.
him to
Is
explain.
But why do you do that? Because I have my works. Yes, I'm Ghanaian, but I don't want you to collect my royalties for me. Is that something that I can do as an artist?
Yeah, so if you are an artist and you don't want Gamro to collect your royalties for you, let's say you want a SASEM, GEMA, BMI, ASCAP.
I don't want anybody to collect it.
No, you can't exist without, as an artist without having a CMO. No, that one, it's not there anywhere. Yes.
Okay.
So if you have an artist, let's say you want to do Gamro, you want to do Samro, BMI, ASCAP, or every other CMO across the world. I mean, you generally have to check in whether there is a reciprocal. If there is no reciprocal, you just have to notify the CMO or your publisher that can you upload my works to Gamro so that they can match and pay the money to me. Because once the work is played on CTFM, and money is supposed to be paid. And the reason it's collective is that you don't want to sit at CTFM and see over 10,000 artists walk to the management of CTFM that my money.
So you are collecting on their behalf.
Exactly. And then when we are done with the collection and we have the usage report, these monies are, processed. So when it is processed, we publish our tariffs on our website. So you'll see the published tariff and then the NDL, that is the collection after deductions. Once it is done, per the distribution rules, if Xavier is not with Gamro, Xavier's money will still be sitting at Gamro. So he just needs to come in and say that, Gamro, my works were performed on CT, on wherever. Where is my money? And then we'll be able to tell Xavier that, yes, your works were performed, but City did not pay. So the money is still seated with City. When the monies are paid, we'll get you all these sheets, and you see every element of your revenue there. You match and you get your money, like it's done internationally.
How efficient is our collection system in Ghana?
I would say we probably have one of the weakest.
One of the weakest.
Yeah, I mean, if he's saying that CT's not paying, I'm sorry, ChannelOne doesn't want to pay royalties, that's the problem, because I personally think that maybe NCA, maybe, they should be able to collaborate with the NCA to see if they can actually come after stations. If you're paying for your yearly renewal, if you haven't paid Gamro, you're not going to get it. I mean, I really think there should be a stakeholder meeting between them, musicians, NCA, to enforce some of these things, because it's actually very sad, because especially like some new radio stations, when they start, usually it's like 24-hour music
Test
transmission for a long time. Even when they start, it's usually music. Even you have the presenters talking, and still there's music in the background of whatever they're saying over. So it's like music almost throughout. And it's like you buy a car, and then you are stealing the fuel to run the car. That's basically how it feels like. Because without the music, you'll probably not be able to run your radio stations, and you don't want to pay for it. But some of these work, you know, like especially now, some of these kids are paying good money to have some of these songs done. It looks as if there's a new song every day, but that you also have to understand that there's money being paid for these new songs every day. So somebody has to make money off it, you know. And to me, that is also one of the reasons why labels are not interested in Ghana. Or
labels are not.
Labels, major companies, no, because like I'm not guaranteeing money, because it's a huge chunk. Publishing is a huge chunk of the money that they should be getting, you know. And then from publishing, you can also get sync licenses and stuff. So that's a huge chunk of money that should be coming in. But if you set a business here, you will not be making that money, you know. And then there's the masters also. So there's basically royalties for masters, for owning the masters. There's royalties for owning publishing. All those things haven't been sorted out here. So you're coming to do business in the place where it's like your business model would change. It's shows and endorsements. That would be a bit. The real music business or the music companies, they are looking at publishing. Like every record label has a publishing arm, like you said, and they are getting both masters and publishing. They are getting money all ways possible. But over here, you know, you can have a popular music and be broke. Yeah, you can have a popular music and be broke.
But how is that even possible?
It is possible when you don't have systems and structures.
So, at this point, with what we are seeing, like Gamro, radio stations, traditional media, streaming platforms and everything, where are we seeing the market heading towards currently?
I mean, like Xavier mentioned, Xavier has always been given heads up, I mean, in the industry, where we need to go and what needs to be done by international best practices. And like he mentioned, I mean, it looks like Ghana.
We are doing it the other way.
Exactly. So if you're a businessman, you struggle. You struggle because, one, legislatively, I mean, policy-wise, 360, things are not the way it's supposed to be. And Gamro has been struggling a lot with policies, like governmental policies to direct these things. Like you mentioned, NCA, Gamro, sit on the table. We agree. If you don't renew your copyright license, you're not going to air anything because your engine is the music.
All right.
So I'll come back to the industry. You know, IFEI released their report, I mean, in the middle of the year, I mean, and you could see 69% of recorded revenues from music comes from streaming. Yeah, so the bad bit is that in our part of this world, we don't stream a lot.
We don't stream a lot.
Yes.
Ghanaians don't stream a lot.
Yes. Ghanaians, the average Ghanaian want to buy that music, I mean, pen drive, like, you know, so they don't stream. And it's a lot of factors. I don't want to bore us with those factors, but then generally...
Can you just give us two?
Internet, cost of internet.
Cost of, data.
Cost of data is part.
Yes, and then literacy rate. So if that person can't access Spotify, like he doesn't know how to make payment, no debit card, like, you know, these things go through processes.
So with all that we are seeing with, like #1 in Ghana and everything, early days here, we shouldn't be jubilating like, Ghana is like streaming music, like we are so big on streaming.
We are an emerging market. So let's say Ghana is an emerging market, and like you see most of these big guys come show their attention to Africa. Streaming and these services started way back 2007, 2010 when Amazon and Apple stores and what have you.
And what trick?
Exactly. What trick? But then we were very slow. So in fact, Spotify launched 38 countries somewhere 2021 or so. I mean, it has been operating.
It came to Ghana recently, I think.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah,
4 years ago. Yeah.
Exactly. So we are an emerging market, and the future is very bright, I must admit, because if you have a population of 36 or 35 million in Ghana, and let's say you're having, let's say, 5 million streaming, there's an opportunity in Ghana here because given the next 5 years or the next decade,
it will grow.
But you won't get this, let's say, in US because now the market is saturated because every average US citizen has an Apple Music or Spotify or these things. But here, there's room for improvement.
All right. Now, Seven, looking at our market, what can we do to improve it? What are some of the things that we can do to improve our market? That would be, especially because I always wanted, because it's good that we are seeing these numbers, right? But how will it benefit? So what can we do to improve so it will benefit our industry at large, especially when it comes to like streaming music?
When it comes to streaming music, The funny part is even artists overseas, let's say US, UK, etc., they are also complaining about streaming.
Yeah.
The only people who are happy with streaming is the record labels, the big major record labels, because they have a whole different agreements with them, right? And they are sharing marketing. So they're saying basically, Spotify has ads and everything. So the labels are sharing some of that ad money.
Oh.
So they are okay. So it's you, the artist, who is making 0.003 per stream. Yes.
So the streaming that we are seeing, the numbers and everything, is not even essentially benefiting the artist.
Yes. The artist is not benefiting them. With the Spotify's and the other ones, it's not benefiting the artist. Because imagine, you're getting 0.003 per stream. That 0.003, the label owns about 85% or more. Do you get that little percentage left? About 15% or less of 0.003. How many do you need to actually get a good amount? So, and that is even, so if the label has given you, let's say, an advance, that money, you're not seeing that money because then you have to take that advance from the money that you're getting from the 15% of your 0.003, right? So artists are not benefiting. The artists are not benefiting. So really, a lot of artists overseas, it's more or less a platform to do something else, sell something. Like the thing now is sell something or find a way to have like revenue streams. So now you have artists doing podcasts, you have artists selling shoes, you have artists selling whatever it is they can sell. Because if it's streaming money, it is no money that isn't really going to benefit you.
So it's not as good as that we set out there think.
You look at numbers, but then it's like, what are the numbers for? Right? So you look at numbers, the numbers look good. If I was a Blacko, like I said, like he said, we don't know his contract in whatever he signed. So yes, the numbers look good. It makes me important as an artist. It makes people look at me. Automatically people will say, oh, I'm a good artist because I have 100 and something. But at the same time, I would say those numbers that we see are the works of the label, not the artist. Right? Take like Molly, for example, like the single most international.
Yeah, most I think something export. Yeah.
Most exported something. Yeah. So yeah, it's the label. She works with Gamma. It's huge money. There's a bunch of money being pumped in. There's Amare, also huge money being pumped in. Like these people are approximately using about $500,000 per song on their marketing and stuff. Yes.
$500,000 per song.
Yes.
On marketing.
Why do you think Ashake was all over the place? That's the minimum budget for like an Ashake song. Song, not album, song. So we're not playing the same games here. So when I see these numbers, kudos to those artists. Yeah. But I also really will say, people who are not on there and they are still making money and they are still making stuff happen, kudos to them even more. Because most of the numbers we see are really record label driven. They are not artist driven. And that's the reason why you're making 15% on 0.003. So you have to think about it in these ways. When you think about it as a businessman or as a, it's nice numbers, but it doesn't really benefit me as an artist.
Oh, wow. So it's nice that we have, let's say, so like behind us we have most streamed artists in Ghana, Blacko #1, Ekow Koomson #2. It's nice. It's cool. It's beautiful.
Someone like Ekow Koomson though, kudos to him because I think he's independent.
Yeah.
So definitely, then he did a really good job. Super good job.
All right. So then, if you don't have a label backing you, you are likely
not to be in those conversations, those numbers. You're not being there. Those lists, you're not being there.
Wow. So someone like Ekow Koomson who is in there but with no major label, that's a great job.
It's a great job. Super
great job for him.
Yeah.
Somebody like a Sarkodie who doesn't have a major label.
Great job for him. But then Sarkodie has a publishing with Sony, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the contracts are now like a million different contracts. Like there's so many different contracts. You can get yourself into different situations. But I'll say yes, some situations help some artists. Definitely.
All right. So let's say with Ekow Koomson, with the streaming, will the money go to him directly, or it will go to like the publisher that he's working with, or it will come to?
Yeah, so if Ekow Koomson has a publisher, so this is digital royalties he's talking about. If he has a publisher, the publisher would, in one way or the other, sign with CMOs. So every publisher, it's by default, you sign with a CMO. And it's your...
So is Gamro in there?
So let me just land on that. So your publisher would sign with a CMO. You know, in Ghana, publishing is not too rife in Ghana. I can't count about 10 local strong
Can you
publishers.
give like the full meaning of a CMO for people who do not know?
So a CMO is a collective management organization.
Good.
Yeah, so once you have a CMO, your publisher would again take your work to a CMO. So if your publisher takes your work to, let's say, PRS or SEMRO or MLC
Or Gamro.
or Gamro. Gamro, we are here, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. What is going to be done is that that entity would note. So currently, Gamro is part of the African Digital Hub, like Pan-African Digital Hub. So when you submit your works to Gamro, Gamro will note across the African countries. And then your royalties, that is your digital, mechanical, and performance. Again, these are also different royalties. So yes, performance is one thing, mechanical is one thing. They don't go together. So you will be leaving money on the table if you really don't understand how this game works. So if you have a publisher, it's your publisher's role to, one, say, I want to sign a sub-publishing contract with entities across the world. So he comes to Ghana and say, 7, I'm offloading my catalog to you. Please do the work for me. He goes to UK and then do same, South Africa. At the end of the day, your publisher will be able to collect every single royalties across the world.
Good. Now, it's good I've mentioned this. Can you explain to us the royalty lines that we have?
Yeah, so, yeah.
In Ghana, or I mean, across the world. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you have the Spotify? I share the Spotify with the producer.
Yes.
Yes,
I
so
have the
can you just project
Spotify
that? Yes, can you just project that?
artwork here.
Yes.
I don't know if producer can put it on the screen.
So for our viewers. So once you see that artwork, you will see that
No.
it has the master and then the publishing.
Master, distributor, label,
Yes.
artist to the producer.
Yes. Exactly. So the master goes straight, like Seven was saying, either your record label or if it's an indie artist. So if an indie artist, he may be using one of the distribution platforms, the indie ones, DistroKid, CD Baby, Ditto, and all those have you, or the close-ended ones, One RMP, Believe, and what have you, or even through the majors. I mean, he's on a label. And then there is a publishing side. So once your music is streamed, let's say in Ghana, a stream is, let's say, 0.000. It's not too good.
Yeah.
0.00077.
In Ghana, that means
Ghana.
if a Ghanaian streams your song.
In Ghanaian territory. So the rate is 0. If you go to US, it's not so.
If you go to US, it's higher.
No, it's higher, yes.
But why though?
Because they subscribe premium. We do ad a lot.
Yeah, they subscribe premium, and even with our ad, we still don't pay enough money.
But
they pay premium top dollar for the ads.
Ads, yeah.
So and then they have a higher rate of people paying, so subscribing to Spotify.
So the ads that they are getting locally, they are not paying enough.
Yeah. Oh. Yes. So there are a lot of factors. There are a lot of factors. Once the stream happens and you earn, so you can earn $1 million stream in Ghanaian territory and you get 770 USD. But then if it's in the US territory, you earn like 4K USD. So once that stream happens and then that money is accrued, 80% mostly on Spotify goes to through the master.
Yeah.
And with the master, Gamro doesn't come there. So it goes to either your distributor or your record label, or and then it comes to you. Then with the publishing, you either have to be signed with a performance rights organization, a PRO, or a mechanical rights organization, an MRO, before you can get all in one.
So, to make, of course, we don't have a lot of time, to make things, to wrap things up, as an artist, I can sign with a major and then still come and have a performance and a mechanical royalties, let's say, contract as well. Is that possible?
That is very possible. But the majors are not really having that.
Yeah.
No.
They won't take that.
No.
Even with the recent, our boys selling their catalogs, everybody's selling their catalogs. You're taking your masters and your publishing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody will just buy masters.
So they don't just buy masters and leave publishing, because basically whatever they do with the masters, that's what generates the publishing money.
Yeah.
So why would I want to do something with the masters while you and no, they'll take both. Yeah.
What does the future look like?
Very bleak.
Very what?
Bleak, very bleak. I just hope that most of the artists will learn. Like we've been trying to teach them for a while, but most of them don't. But they sign contracts day in and day out. I've seen so many contracts after the fact, after it's been signed. They explain what they just signed, and then they're like, "What?" Because they had no idea what they signed, but they just signed it because maybe there was some $10,000 on the table, so they signed it. So I think we should definitely learn more and know what's globally, what's happening globally. But like you were saying earlier, with Ghana having the low streams and everything, that also tells you why a major label will probably not bother about the artists really doing numbers in Ghana. It's like there are music markets. Like, Asia is a good music market, the US, Europe. So those are the ones that if I was a label, major label, that's where I put my marketing money to go. Ghana, Africa. Yeah. So some of these things you have to look at how it's a whole. The artists are not doing much for the list that we are seeing. It's the labels.
Wow.
Yeah. But
so
if you
it's
see,
good. It's nice.
it's nice. But I wouldn't tell the artist on it. Oh, you did a good job. The label did a good job. It's a war of the labels. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It's a war of the labels. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I know there's one thing that everybody's been talking about. Why is Stonebwoy not on there?
Yeah.
I can't answer that one. But, it's war of the labels. Stonebwoy has done nothing wrong. I love him, though.
Wow. Okay. So Stonebwoy is not there. Shatawale is not there because he's done
there.
anything wrong. Well, I'm saying, like, for some of them, because like the list we showed for like the most streams, artist streaming in Ghana, it doesn't have Shatawale on there. So it's not because they've done anything wrong.
No.
But it's because the labels
really
are
push.
doing-
You remember sometimes we had like a little Nigerians in our because the labels doing what the labels do.
Wow.
Some people even think there's farming. I'm not sure if you know what a farming is. Stream farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people
that.
think some of them are stream farms.
Yeah.
But
But they are not.
Oh, they could be. I mean, even if I think it's a suit against Drake right now that he has about 2 billion streams that were like farmed, not organic.
But it will make
anything
money
is
for
possible.
top.
Anything is possible, anything. So I'll never, until whoever's making the money sees the money. I won't jubilate for anyone because there's so many different things happening, and some people get away with it, some people don't. There's some artists, if you try, like an up and coming artist, if you try to farm, they'll catch you right now, they'll find you. But if you're on a label, it might not happen to you. But
Right.
yeah, things are happening.
Thank you very much, Seven. Thank you very
Welcome.
much, Jackson.
Welcome.
I mean, I think we should have this again and go deeper into it because, I mean, I really want to understand why do you go to beer bars to go and collect money from them? Why do you go to funerals to go and collect money from them? Obiewu, Gamrosi, Ebejiska. I don't get all of that. But we'll have a conversation about that at another time. We'll go for a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back on the chat. But hey, when we get back, you're going to see an electrifying performance from Ghana's finest female vocalist. If you are, stick and stay, we'll be right back.